we will have revenge. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Welcome, followers of the Dark Side and the Light. I'm your host, John, the real JP3, and I'm joined as always by my good friend and fellow co-host, who is the master of the dark side, expert on the occult, and obtainer of rare antiquities and holocrons. Please welcome Dark Lord of the Sith, David.
John.
What?
Episode 137, buddy. You ready to do this?
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot going on. A lot of Galactic Times. You got Harrison Ford saying, what the hell is a Force Ghost? You got a lot of little juicy tidbits. You get an excerpt, some Kylo Ren action from the novelization that's about to come out for Rise of Skywalker. You got a lot of other little juicy tidbits. Disneyland prices going up. Clone Wars around the corner. And a Mando magazine. So, a lot of stuff to cover. What do you think? You good? You ready for it?
I'm trying to think,
What you
I'm trying to think, what the most exciting thing is. And the most exciting thing on my list, which you have not mentioned at all,
Okay.
is that Clone Wars Season 7 kicks off this Friday, February 21st.
I just said Clone Wars around the corner.
You didn't give it enough. You didn't give it enough emphasis. You didn't give it enough emphasis. Power.
Yet you didn't go back and watch any of the Clone Wars previous episodes or
This
seasons.
is Sparta.
Ew, don't rip your shirt off. You haven't even gone back and watched any of the episodes, and yet you're this jazzed.
I don't need to.
You're this jazzed.
I'm excited because it's just... Did you finish your rewatch? I know you said you were following a couple of websites that were telling you watch this one. Did you finish it?
I have.
Where you
not.
at?
I got distracted and I started watching other episodes of Clone Wars, other than the ones that were gonna get me primed and locked and loaded. But I'm gonna be off on Wednesday. I'll be able to digest, crunch all those episodes in, so it'll be fresh, it'll be ripe. And then I'll go into Friday watching the new episode of Clone Wars.
All right. So the question is, Friday.
Okay.
Are you going to get up early and watch, or are you going to get up to see if it drops first thing Friday morning? Or are you got to go to work? What's your day consist of Friday? What's going to happen?
David doesn't got to be at work till 9.
Okay.
So he's gonna wake up decently early, make some bacon, some lemon pepper eggs, and sit down and watch some Clone Wars. Why do you make that face when I say lemon pepper eggs?
They're not that good.
You shut your mouth. They're amazing. Everyone says that lemon pepper eggs aren't that good until they try them, then they love them, and then they're like, Dave, why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
Your girlfriend thinks it's weird that I put lemon pepper on my eggs too. So
it's amazing.
That's pretty good. It is pretty good. So
has she tried it, or she's just...
No, she doesn't eat eggs. She doesn't like eggs. She doesn't like the consistency.
She hasn't had good eggs, that's why.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm not able to do that. I have to be at work fairly early on Friday.
You have to be at work at 3 a.m.?
Well, not 3 a.m., but I'm not going to get that early.
That's when it drops.
Are you sure, though? We've
That's
heard
when it drops.
that.
That's when it drops, my man. What time you got to be at work?
I got to be there by at least 7:15, 7:30.
Okay, so you got to leave your house by 6:30.
Yeah, usually. I got more traffic now.
Okay, so you could theoretically wake up at 5, do your morning routine and all that it consists of, watch you some Clone Wars, and go through the day without having to worry about a media blackout. Or having some random dude ruin it while you roll up to Wendy's trying to get fresh nuggies, and the guy's like, dude, Ahsoka, blah, blah, blah.
Well, at the end of the day, I'll be on a media blackout anyway, because I'm literally in an all-day meeting, and then I'm heading to your house. So...
Exactly. Then you're going to end up wanting to rewatch here for the first time, or rewatch it with me a second time.
I just watch it without you. You're going to still be at work. I know you.
You don't know me.
I know you. You're just going to be at work. Anyway, Friday, February 21st, kick off David's birthday weekend.
What?
Pretty excited. Did you see the Bad Batch promo video?
Trailer, yes. I saw
Trailer,
it,
whatever.
dug it, loved it. I love it how they call themselves... Oh, you all right there?
Sorry, almost died.
Force took your breath away, man. Aren't they calling themselves like Squadron 99 or something? 99?
Squad 99.
Squad
99.
Right? So, do you remember in Clone Wars, one of the episodes of Clone 99?
I vaguely remember it.
Let me give you a quick... Okay, no, go ahead. Go with it.
I'd say, is this one of the Clone 99 guys, like the leader of the Bad Batch or Squad 99?
No, so he was one of the first clones, but he was a defective. Remember, he was a maintenance worker. He had the Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of thing, and
yes,
the squishy like sloth from the Goonies face.
Yes,
and he's
it's
still
messed up, by the way.
What?
It's messed up.
What else? I'm just saying. I'm trying to break it down to terms that you know, and I know you love Goonies, so.
Ruth, baby, Ruth.
Exactly. Sloth, love, chunk.
So I know this isn't the Goonies podcast, but somebody brought up. But the other day, somebody brought up, they're like, what if they remade the Goonies? And I said, shut your mouth.
They've talked about it.
Don't remake the Goonies. Leave us something. Leave us something.
They also want to remake Back to the Future, which I am highly against.
I am highly against Back to the Future. Don't remake it. I'm not a fan of all the whole remakes of the Disney movies either into live action. I get it, Disney. Some people like it, newer generation. Not me. Not me.
But it's not made for you.
It's not made for me. That's correct. I know, Dave, if they remade The Great Mouse Detective in live action, you'd be pretty upset.
I would be very upset.
It's the only Disney movie Dave really likes.
I love The Great Mouse Detective. It's over the top. It's lavish. It's redonkulous. It's awesome. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. I didn't realize as a kid, though, and I watched it the other day, and it made me laugh, and I heard more and more because I haven't seen it in years. I'm like, this is based off of Sherlock Holmes. Yes, Dave, I know. But as a kid, I did not see that growing up. And so it wasn't until I was introduced to that much, and I mean much later in life. The first time I was introduced to Sherlock Holmes was the Robert Downey Jr. movie.
Are you freaking serious?
No,
that was 2009.
Yeah, I'm being dead serious with you.
Oh my goodness.
And so I was like, seriously, the movies that we saw in my house were Western, John Wayne. I know a lot about John Wayne. So my dad watched.
What was the Duke's fifth film?
I don't know. Don't ask me questions
then you don't know about the Duke.
And Star Trek, mind you, guys, don't shun the podcast, but Star Trek. But anyway, so I didn't know about Sherlock Holmes, and then I watched it. I was like, oh my god, that is so awesome. But yeah, anyway, so just fun fact.
Wow, blowing my mind every day, John. Just when I think you're past that point in your life where you're gonna blow my mind with random things, you keep on coming.
Anyway, Squad 99, Bad Batch. The trailer's posted on our Facebook page. Was this the trailer that we saw at Celebration?
Not the full trailer. We see some snippets of what we saw at Celebration, but not in its entirety, no.
Okay.
Are you excited for it? Does this get you more jazzed or less jazzed?
So it was exciting. I'm still upset, and I haven't even seen all the episodes, obviously. I'm still upset it's only one season. And I didn't even watch the Clone Wars when it came out originally. It was more of Dave told me to watch it. I told y'all this. It took me 5 or 6 tries to actually watch it. And then I watched it and I was like, why didn't I watch it sooner? Type of mindset. So, I don't know. Excited. I can't wait. I may have to accidentally buy the Blu-ray wrong again. If they come out, because this is going straight to Disney Plus. This isn't even going on TV. I'm a little worried.
So I'm going to circle back to my main point, but you got me distracted when you said on DVD. I've still yet to hear anything from Fav. I did reach out to him on Instagram. I threw up a comment on his feed, and then I also hit him in the DMs, and he still has yet to respond to me. So I'm a little sad about that, but maybe one day he's just, like, before they announce it, like 10 minutes before they announce it, he hits me in the DM and be like, you know what? You're right. Here it comes. Watch my Twitter, and then 5 minutes it posts on his Twitter, and I'm just going to lose my shit.
I wonder if, like, more people should, like, bring it up to him, and then, like, he's like, all right, I'm going to say something. Like, I wonder if it should not just be you. Like, you're one person. Maybe it's something, but if more and more people, I'll hit him up too. Guys, hit up Jon Favreau. Ask him what
Hashtag Steelbook Mando.
I was going to say, do you want the Steelbook, right? Hashtag Steelbook Mando.
Mando season 1? No, that's too much.
No, hashtag Steelbook Mando. Use the hashtag. Dave and I would appreciate it. And, well, Dave would appreciate it. I'm okay with it being on Disney Plus.
Nah, I need my Steelbooks, man.
Which
I gotta order that one. And you know what? I bought Darth Revan. Or Jedi Revan. Black Series figure.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Because no one's
anyway,
gonna buy it for me for my birthday, so I had to buy it for myself.
Now you're talking country over here. Buy it for myself. Anyway, so Clone Wars coming out. Another interesting fact: Kevin Kiner is returning as the composer for season 7 of the Star Wars Clone Wars. He did all previous 7s plus the Lost Missions for Clone Wars, and so he'll be returning composer to round out Star Wars.
And he also does the. I'm sorry, I blacked out a little bit. I was writing a note. You said he does the announcing portion of the show as well, right?
I did not say that, but does he? I didn't think it was him.
I want to say he does the opening intro announcement.
Hold on.
I want to say he does. I might be wrong.
I thought that was
that's the guy that does Rex, right?
Yes.
Double check it. Because I'm going to kick myself if it is Rex, which I think it is Rex.
I remember Dave Filoni mentioned something about it at
one of the celebration.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm never very good at, like, searching for things.
You never have been. What did you Google?
I said, who does opening?
All right, I'm gonna Google it as you Google, because let's see who finds it first. Oh goodness. Anyway, Clone Wars is coming back. You said you're a little depressed because it's only one season, but you got to think of it in retrospect. It is coming back strictly because the fans clamored and wanted it back.
Tom Kane.
So it's not Kiner. Why the hell did I think it was Kiner?
But he also he does play a character in Clone Wars. He also is a voice double for Akbar, C-3PO, and Yoda. Yeah, he was at hold on, let me get back to the picture. Can you see him?
Yeah, I can see him.
That's I remember now. He was at Celebration. That's what we talked about. I remember now. I don't know why you thought it was the composer.
I have no idea why.
You're better than me. I thought it was Jon Favreau not Jon Favreau. Dave Filoni that did some of them.
Oh no.
But I knew it was somebody who was in the original cast or who was in the cast that actually did it. So anyway.
But no, as I was saying, like, dude, you got to realize we wouldn't even be getting this unless the fans weren't super upset and disheartened that the Clone Wars got canceled the same year Disney bought Lucasfilm. So, like, we technically this is a freebie they're throwing away. They didn't have to do this.
They didn't have to. And Kathleen Kennedy said she was like, we know we shouldn't have done it. We realize it. We're going to fix it. We're going to come back. We're going to do it now. So I appreciate that they're doing it. And I think you were the one that shared with me that it started to get a little dark, correct? And that's why Disney was
you sensed it. You felt it watching some of those episodes.
It was getting dark, and I was like, I get it. Like, I can get why Disney was like, now granted, this happened in 2015.
15, yep.
And so again, we're in 2020, 5 years ago, and we live in a different world 5 years ago than we did. We live in a different world than we did 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Sorry.
lot's changed.
A lot's changed, and so you think about things in that perspective, and you're saying in retrospect, at least we're getting it back. And you think about things that the world has changed in 5 years. I didn't know 5 years ago we were getting Disney Plus. Didn't know we were getting The Mandalorian. Didn't know Solo would flop. You know, those are all things that we didn't know going into this. And
Solo wasn't even on the radar. You know what I mean? Like the new trilogy wasn't even on the. Well, it was on the radar, but we didn't know how it was going to come out or anything. So we got Clone Wars. It's extra. We didn't, need to get this from Kathleen Kennedy and the rest of the Disney crew and Lucasfilm, but they threw us a bone, and Clone Wars saved. It's back. Some little bit. But so also what I'm thinking, and I'm a little confused by it, and I want to flush it out more on our next episode. Maul's saber in the promotional shot is different than his double-bladed saber that's in Solo. Because his double-bladed saber in Solo has like this hook arc to it, which is the one that he had in Rebels, right? That almost looks like a cane. And it's got that weird like crescent moon kind of thing coming out of it. So this is a different double-bladed saber than the one he has in Rebels. So does this saber get destroyed and he rebuild? Or does he add on to this current saber to make it like the one he has in Rebels?
Or does he... When you say destroyed, do you mean like the whole thing is destroyed, or does it like maybe get damaged and he has to modify it, or he has to fix it and he ends up making a change to it? Could be that. Because that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe something happened to it. He had some damage to it, so he had to change it, and he was like, you know what? It's broke, so let me go ahead and make some modifications to it and make it a little bit better, a little bit different, and that's what we see in Rebels.
Could be. All I know is when I saw this and I was thinking about like that ending in Solo, because I saw it the other day, is how the lightsaber differs.
Yeah.
And then wondering, okay, what happened? Was it that final battle with Ahsoka that some shit went down with the saber? Or does it happen later on that we don't physically see? Even in this last arc of Clone Wars.
Does it still irk you that he lights up his lightsaber at the end of Solo?
No. I loved it.
No, it wasn't that. It didn't bother you. That's right.
It was an intimidation move.
No.
Like, first of all, he calls the Force, like he uses the Force to call the lightsaber to his hand. One, intimidation, like, look what I can do. Your powers are nothing compared to mine. Yeah, you might know Terrace Costley, but I trained. What's his name? What's the character's name?
Dryden Voss.
Yes, he's like, I trained Dryden Voss, who trained you, so you're the pupil of my pupil. You're nothing to me. Let me just put you back in your place. And then this ignites it like, hey, go come to Dathomir. We're going to figure this out.
The whole time we're talking about like, I'm the mother of dragons.
Oh, Darth Maul would slice up those dragons.
Oh, that's great.
He would be no Night King.
Anyway, so excited about Clone Wars. I have a note, Maul's saber promo shot, Clone Wars for further discussion.
Yep. We'll hit that on
next episode. So I got a note for that, so I can do some research and write that down. So anyway,
because Thursday, all I want to talk is Clone Wars. No, you don't want to talk Clone Wars.
All he does is gab on. Dave doesn't talk on the phone. He's not a talker on the phone. FYI, he just texts everybody. He doesn't talk on the phone. So the only time we ever talk on the phone is this conversation. It's because of the podcast. So very lonely.
Are you done? Cry me a river. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. Justin Timberlake's song is your ringtone every time you call me.
Anyway, moving on. So, Empire Magazine is at it again. The Mandalorian is getting a cover. The Mandalorian exclusive is getting a cover on Empire Magazine, which is due out Let me make sure, because I don't want to mess up my dates again. Launching Disney Plus is launching in the UK on the 24th of March. So get ready to meet the Mandalorian. Now, we have several listeners and fans from the UK who have said, "Hey, we've already seen them. We found other means. We've already got this. Don't worry about it."
I would be doing the same darn thing.
I just think it's interesting, but whatevs. So you got this awesome cover, and it looks like there's even a poster inside, and there it says this month's most wanted subscriber cover is illustrated exclusively for Empire by Sam Gilbey, and inside it says wanted. It has a picture of the Mandalorian and the child is hopefully in. I don't know about you. That is absolutely the cutest cover in the world.
So you're gonna get it?
No, I'm not gonna get it.
Then why do you say it's the cutest?
It's just, but look, it's so cute. He's like, I'm looking for my dad. He's wanted for 50,000 yen. I don't know.
Republic
dollars.
credits?
Thank you. I was like, he'll come up with the right terminology.
So why'd you go yen?
I don't know. It just went weird. Just very interesting. Plus, it's got a James Bond, the Ultimate Celebration tribute inside of it as well. So this will be hitting the newsstand edition. Will be out Thursday, February 20th.
I think the biggest thing is it's inside the mind of Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah,
I love Nick Cage. I'm just saying. I love Nick Cage.
I was just saying, are you sad that he hasn't had like a good movie?
Apparently, he's doing a movie about it himself.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember where I read it, but they're saying like Nick Cage is diving into a new role where he plays himself or something. I don't know. It's wild. But in case you guys haven't seen it, Mom and Dad is a Hulu exclusive movie.
It's great.
With Nick Cage. It is weirdly good. Have a couple of dope bevies with it. Kick back, watch it, and then for no reason, go ahead and let everyone know that you saw it, and then hashtag Steelbook Mando.
So, I had never seen this movie before. Dave was like, "You got to see this movie." I watched. It's actually under like the comedy section, which is funny. I watched it and I was like, "There's no way this is comedy." It's actually pretty hilarious.
So essentially, what the movie's about is all the parents, all the adults in the world get this weird inclination and urge, unstoppable urge, to kill children or their own children. Very crazy, very wild premise. But there's one scene where Nick Cage kind of has a very emotional, dragged out. I'm not gonna say dragged out scene, but a scene that he really dives deep, and I think some of it hit close to home because it talked about things that he's been through. So I just thought it was fascinating. Anyway, Nick Cage.
Either way, great movie. Go check it out. It's on Hulu. Also a Disney owned or mostly owned event. So, Dave, are you picking up this Empire magazine? Yes, no, maybe so.
No, I'm not going to pick it up. It is pretty cool, though. I'm not as jazzed and as cute about the commercial or the cover as you. I was more in love with the Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. Cascade commercial. Both are Star Wars voice actors, by the way. Obviously, he plays Kanan Jarrus, and his wife, Sarah Michelle Gellar, plays the seventh sister?
I believe so.
Right? And their commercial, it was just great. I loved it. If you haven't had a chance to see it, guys, John's going to go and post it on the page tomorrow. Take a look. It's rather risque, but not really. It's very tongue-in-cheek. I dug it.
As no Star Wars relation whatsoever besides the fact
that they're both Star Wars actors.
That they're both Star Wars actors. He sends this to me, and I'm like, seriously, why are you sending this to me? Like, it's, first of all, Freddie Prinze Jr., in my opinion, is not a good person.
Just because you got beef with Freddie.
I got beef with Freddie, but it's got Sarah Michelle Gellar. I have no beef with Sarah Michelle Gellar. So
Freddie was a damn sweetheart when I met him.
Yeah,
shook my hand and like even gave me like a half bro hug.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm done with you.
You're just upset.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on from this conversation. We're going to continue talking about The Mandalorian, but I'm moving on from this conversation. So, news today. Dave, I don't know how I feel about this, so I'm going to get your thoughts. I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay, talk to me, man.
WWE wrestler Sasha Banks is reportedly, rumors, unknown, IGN, possibly, could be in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Thoughts? What do you think? Don't know. She's never been in acting before. Never. She's 28 years old. Her real name is Mercedes Justine Castaner Vernado.
Okay. Don't watch a lot of wrestling. I grew up watching wrestling, loved it. I faded out of it. It just got too wild and crazy for me. But hey, who knows? Maybe she's got great acting chops, or she's going to be used more as a physical presence, which obviously we know that's not the only reason why they casted Gina Carano. She actually can act pretty darn well.
Yeah.
And I think she's carried scenes very well. Dialogue, it hits where it needs to. I don't see any reason why this young Sasha Banks can't do the same thing. Whether she's going to be an ally of the Mando and Cara, or she's going to be opposing them, a fellow bounty hunter, maybe even an ex-Imperial, who knows? For all we know, she could be another Mando. Only time will tell. What do you think, John? Yay, nay?
So, again, it's still very early. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors. She's been missing off the WWE Wrestling TV's show for the last couple of weeks with an indication.
Injury, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, like it's something very minor. And so they're saying, it could be, possibly, we don't know. So, guys, again, huge rumor. They said she is Snoop Dogg's cousin.
Okay.
Tidbit of information for you.
I do like Snoop.
But anyway, I don't know. They said it would be, a lot of people are speculating that it'd be a huge risk for Jon Favreau and Disney to take her on, because she has no acting, like she's never been in acting before. But again, everybody starts somewhere. A lot of people have like, oh, my mom did it, my dad did it. We come from that place, just like police officers or people in the military.
Plus, I don't know if you guys know this, but wrestling's not really real. They get scripts. They have to play a part. They have personas. As much as I love Star Wars isn't real. These people are actors. Alderaan didn't really blow up because there was no Alderaan. It wasn't Tarkin. These damn rebels had it coming. Anyway, who knows? Maybe she can do fantastic.
That's like killing people's dreams.
What? Santa isn't real either, John.
David, stop! Oh my god.
The Tooth Fairy is your mom and dad.
When we start getting hate mail,
directed at you.
It's on you. It's completely on you.
Hey, I'm supporting Sasha Banks over here, alright? I'm believing in her when I haven't even seen one episode of WWE where she's trash talking and elbow jabbing people or whatever she does. I got you, Sasha. Don't worry about it. Put in a word for Steelbook Mando.
That'd be random if you hit her up on her Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and be like, hey, hashtag Steelbook Mando. Heard you may potentially be on the show for season 2. Talk to Fab about this. I'd appreciate it.
It'd be awesome if she messaged me back. I'd be like, oh my god.
Then we could break the news. Anyway, pretty cool. Speaking, since we're on the IGN, we're going to move off of the Mandalorian, but since we're on IGN reporting some information, something else that came out today was about Harrison Ford.
Gotta love Ford.
Harrison Ford is up there in age. Still a classic. I don't even know how to describe him. Dave's the adjective guy. Just all around.
He's a classy, down-to-earth guy.
He says what he says. He does what he does. He doesn't care what people think. He lives his life. Like, that's what he does.
You know, I know you've seen the show, so I'm going to make this analogy. He is essentially a real-life version minus the cowboy aspect of Sam Elliott's character in The Ranch.
Yeah.
It's,
You've seen that show?
don't worry about it, John. Let's just live life, okay? Essentially, that's what he is. He just says whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't care whose toes he steps on. He's just living life. Living life. Do you not agree?
I agree. He says what he wants to say and he does what he wants to do. And if he doesn't want to do it, he's not going to do it. He's like, I've lived my life. I've done what I'm supposed to do. Like, he's got Indiana Jones 5 coming out.
Shooting in April.
Yeah, you got people that saying Kathleen Kennedy refuses to let anybody else be Indiana Jones but Harrison Ford. As long as the guy can do it, let him do it. He's great at what he does. He's an amazing actor. We got to see him in The Rise of Skywalker, which I thought was pretty awesome. Dave and I have talked about that pretty extensively. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen The Rise of Skywalker, Harrison Ford shows up.
What?
Dave and I talked about it pretty extensively about him coming back in The Rise of Skywalker. So you can check out the previous episodes. I think was it like 3 parts that we talked about that?
I don't even know. It's so long ago, but I'll talk about it again. Hit me in the DMs. We'll do it all over again. Don't worry about it.
So he was talking with IGN and he, hey, Harrison, how was your experience? Come back. He's like, I loved it. We're acting alongside Adam Driver again was amazing. He's a really cool guy. He's really down to earth. Just seeing him as he's grown into Kylo Ren and kind of who he's been and how he kind of portrays himself. And he's like, how was your experience, as a Force Ghost? Harrison was like,
No. They asked him, they're like, do you feel your character was a Force Ghost? Like, do you feel you appearing to Kylo Ren was a Force Ghost? And, classic Ford fashion, what does he say, John?
Says, Force Ghost. I don't know what a Force Ghost is. However, he doesn't stop there. He does not stop there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then in a quieter voice, Ford says, don't tell anyone. I'm not talking loud enough for your recorder. I have no effing idea what a Force Ghost is, and I don't care.
Love it. Love it.
So, and then the reporter goes on to say, so there you have it. Never ask Harrison Ford to weigh in on Star Wars fan debates. On second thought, scratch that. Always ask Harrison Ford to weigh in. Because it's that thing, it's like, so, he would be a guy that you'd be like, hey, Harrison, so what do you think Rey's last name is? Or who do you think Rey's lineage is? Who cares? Have you seen how she wields that lightsaber or uses the Force? Who cares what her last name is or what her lineage is? Like, that's how we should all be thinking, people.
I think he'd be more along the lines of, who's Rey?
That's probably true.
No disrespect to Daisy Ridley or anything, but Harrison Ford's in a whole other universe, ladies and gentlemen. Like, he's a man amongst men. He's freaking Indiana Jones.
Is it that girl that kept telling me how to fix my ship?
There you go.
How to bypass the whatever.
Compressor?
Yeah. And then I tried to hire her because I needed somebody like her on my crew.
She said no.
Yeah. That girl? Yeah, I remember her.
That's Harrison Ford.
She's a pain in my ass. But that's Harrison Ford. I just
love it, though.
Love that guy. That's another guy I was raised on besides the Duke, Harrison Ford, and Star Trek. Anyway,
I'd love to meet him at Star Wars Celebration. It will never happen.
No.
Just like I don't think Adam Driver will ever go either. I want to meet Adam Driver.
I don't think Adam Driver goes to anything, though. Am I wrong? Has he ever been to any other Comic-Con?
No. If he ain't making Star Wars Celebration, he ain't going to anything else. Like, can you imagine the line for Adam Driver at Star Wars Celebration?
Dave would miss a movie panel to meet Adam Driver.
Oh, heck yeah, I would.
I'd miss everything to meet Harrison Ford. I just want a picture with the guy, and I want a picture with the guy, and I want an autograph for my dad because my dad's a huge Harrison Ford lover, and I just want to get his DVDs autographed. That's it.
And don't get me wrong, I love Han Solo, but Indiana Jones, oh man.
It would be an Indiana Jones, yeah. It would be his Indiana Jones box set. I'd bring the DVDs and I'd have him autograph it. But a picture with him would go down, yeah, forever. Like, that's all I need. But the autograph would be for my dad.
Like
If I could take my dad, I would take my dad. But my dad, no. Not my dad. Not my
I can
dad.
only imagine your dad at the celebration. It'd be awesome.
Well, like, I ain't going there. Like, who the heck? This Harrison Ford right here. He'd show up in his white tank top shirt, his jeans.
Oh, your dad. All right, what's the next topic?
Oh, that man. All right, moving on. The Rise of Skywalker novelization coming out March 17th. Pre-orders are available now. Have you pre-ordered date?
No.
Okay, well, it's sold out already.
Darn. It hasn't sold out.
Yeah, it has.
Really? Everywhere?
I just got a notification. I posted it on.
You're a liar.
Has not sold out, guys. Pre-orders are available. You can go do it. StarWars.com posted an exclusive excerpt today for the novelization, which was written by Ray Carson, and specifically stated, this book features expanded scenes and content not seen in theaters, as well as a few surprises. They culled from the deleted scenes, never before seen material, and input from the filmmakers. They got an exclusive excerpt, I can't say that word today, basically of the opening scene of Kylo Ren on Mustafar. I didn't read the entire excerpt, and I told Dave he needs to check it out. I'm telling you, the parts, I probably read over half of it, but the parts that I did read, the level of detail describing Mustafar was epic. Was just epic.
Will
it
you
was
listen
amazing.
to his audiobook then?
I don't know. So in my mind, Dave, don't get mad at me because I feel you're gonna get. I feel this is one of those moments Dave's gonna get mad at me, guys.
All right, taking a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel this is more of a picture book.
What do you mean, John?
You got like a visual. You got like a novelization for like the young adults that I can like flip through the pictures. But that's not the visual dictionary. It's like a condensed version. I guess not.
Yeah, that silence was on purpose, ladies and gentlemen, for you just to soak in all the loving word vomit and thought process that John, the real JP3, provides.
So I don't know if I listened to it, but it provides. So I didn't listen to the other two. So if you've listened to the other two, The Force Awakens. Well, you've listened to all the novelizations, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can't shake your head. You got to talk, Dave. That not everybody can hear you.
I was waiting. Yeah.
So it's an expanded edition. Remember, this was delayed by 2 weeks by Del Rey Books. People were freaking out because obviously Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising was also delayed, but it was delayed for a much substantial amount of time. We're not sure why. Obviously, it's being published, so that's not the reason why. But the level of detail in this description I thought was pretty cool. Do you think if I have not read the other novelizations that I will be behind if I read this one?
No, I think you'll be good because essentially the novelizations, they just add a little bit more meat on the bone than you would have had obviously watching the film. And I think in depth, juicier piece of Rise of Skywalker is definitely warranted because there was a lot of questions that we had walking out of that theater on each viewing that this will just go ahead and give more depth, more flavor to the Rise of Skywalker, if you will.
Yeah, and so this excerpt also kind of paves the way gives you kind of an insight to the Hux Kylo Ren relationship, disagreements, how you can immediately see as you start reading how much Hux despises and just has a disgust and disdainment for Kylo Ren. You also have pride that is talked about here. Sorry, it's Commander Pride, is that correct?
Allegiant General Pride.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Allegiant Commander General Pride, who then idolizes in some regard based on how it's described in the excerpt that it says hey, He is Kylo Ren. He is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And nobody should stand against him. Nobody should stand up to him. He will take you down. He is our Supreme Leader. And Hux is like, we don't have time for this. We're on this fiery planet of Mustafar. It barely is livable. And he's fighting the Mustafarians. What is the point of this? And Pride's like, there's somebody out there claiming to be the Emperor. Somebody out there claiming to be a higher power than our Supreme Leader, Kylo Ren. No, we shall not stand for this. Like, I feel very like, no. It's
you feel very British and commanding.
Yeah, it gives you that kind of involvement of like what is to come between Hux and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, as well as Pride, and just how that those boundaries are kind of breaking.
This is the most jazz I've seen you about any book conversation since Dooku Jedi Lost.
That was good. Oh no, Master and Apprentice.
Jedi Lost came out before Master and Apprentice.
Did it?
Or Jedi Lost came out after? Yeah, after Master and Apprentice.
I don't remember that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, really good. Like I said, I didn't read the whole excerpt. Dave, I
don't read any excerpts. I want to go in fresh. I don't want to be tainted by the outside world and the little nuggets and breadcrumbs people want to leave me. No, I'm a man. I'm going to eat the full course meal when I want, not on your time. Yeah. Sorry, I felt very... Like, no.
Okay.
I just don't want to get sucked into an excerpt and not be able to continue reading. And that's what excerpts are. They're teasers. They're little like, hey, come on, it's the dollar bill hanging on the fishing line. I'm already going to get the book. I don't need the dollar bill hanging over me.
It's a pleasure delay, Dave.
Don't pleasure delay me, Ray Carson. Don't do it. I'm buying the book already.
Did you buy it? You haven't pre-ordered it.
It's on my Audible pre-order.
There you go. So anyway, check out the excerpt. We posted it today. Like I said, I didn't read the whole thing, but what I did read, pretty. I feel like Dave unplugged his headphones during that conversation, but it was pretty. It was a pretty good excerpt, just FYI. So I also think, for me, and the reason you said I have not heard you this jazzed about a book in a while, I felt for like The Force Awakens, I really wasn't left with a whole lot of questions. I wasn't left for a whole lot of things that I needed answered. The Last Jedi, I don't think I was left with a whole lot of, because I knew there was movies coming. So The Force Awakens, I knew there was 2 additional movies. The Last Jedi, I knew there was still an additional movie. So I knew that something was, Snoke died. But I knew that there was still another movie that could probably bring that all together. Yes, I found out in The Rise of Skywalker, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, that Snoke was a puppet that was created by Emperor Palpatine. I learned that. So I kind of closed that gap. But there was other stuff that I did not learn with that final movie, and I think that's why I'm probably a little bit more passionate about the Rise of Skywalker novelization, because I did not get that closure that I expected from the movie, because I was like, hey, The Force Awakens, I got 2 more movies, like I mentioned. There's nothing else. I got the novelization. Outside the novelization, Dave, unless you're reading me a bedtime story and making up scripts on your own, that's it. There's nothing else.
I got you. But no, you make a valid point. As far as we know, this is the last entry in the Skywalker saga timeline. We have no idea what Project Luminous is. That's right around the corner, the 24th. We get that information, see what stories, direction we're going with that hunk of information. Comics, novels, potentially a video game. We don't know for sure. Maybe film, but as of right now, you're right. Rise of Skywalker is the last entry into the Skywalker saga. The Skywalker Sheev saga. Only
time will tell.
Ooh.
Pre-order today. The book is out a month from today, which we are recording February 17th of 2020. Let us know what you think.
Okay. What you got? What else is next on the agenda?
Last thing I got on the agenda, guys, outside of everything else, just a tidbit of information as we get closer to Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, California. Disneyland ticket prices have increased. they have surpassed the $200 mark. So we saw this happen a little over a year ago when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened at both parks. But now it looks like it is increased for it. So it gets kind of confusing. So you have a single day, single park pass. Any of you who have been to Disneyland or Disney World, you kind of understand this. So Dave's like, I've never been. On non-peak days, 1 day, 1 park ticket will remain the standard $104. However, weekends, holidays, and busier days, they can increase the ticket price by 5% or more because of the demand of tickets, which would increase it anywhere from $114 to $154. Now, this ticket allows you to get into the park, but it doesn't allow you to jump from park to park. There's not a whole lot of parks at Disneyland. There's more at Disney World. So that where it can get a little issue. If you spend a whole lot of time at Disneyland, you really don't have to worry about it because then you can spend your whole day in there and do whatever you want to do and you don't have the hot parks. Where the $200 comes in is that's the park hopper ticket. So these passes allow guests to visit both Disneyland Park and neighboring California adventures. Star Wars Galaxy Edge is in Disneyland Park. And you can do a multiple day pass and they range from 235 days for 2-day passes or 415 days for 5-day passes, and you can do park hopper tickets.
415 days?
No, $415 for 5 days.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the ticket prices have kind of moved. You can also get a max pass, which lets patrons reserve rides digitally. Those have ticked up by $5.
I want that because I want to be able to say, get me on the Smuggler's Run.
Yeah, so you can do those different things. So for us, when we go to Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge, I think we should be good, but I'm also concerned. I've been seeing a lot of posts, not concerned. I've been seeing a lot of posts that people are staying over a couple of days to be able to experience the park after Star Wars Celebration, so that the prices may fluctuate a little bit depending on demand. But we could always get our tickets a little bit earlier. We just need to be able to kind of determine what we want to do. That,
or we do a mix where we go a few days before Celebration and then a few days after.
We could do that.
You know what I mean? Just depending on what it looks like.
It seems like a lot more people, I've seen a lot more people are going before and less people are going after because that week before, the week after Celebration butts up or goes up against Labor Day, which is when the park starts getting busy that weekend before.
I'll leave it to you to decide all the dates. I'm just going to live my life and tell me where I need to go and what man I need to pay. Or woman.
Well, man. Anyway. All right. That's all I got.
That's all I got, too. Yeah. On Thursday, we're talking nothing but Clone Wars, baby. Nothing but Clone Wars.
We'll see.
Nothing but Clone Wars. John, where can they find you? Where can they find us? John, where?
You can find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SWPodBalance. Hit us up there. Comment. Send us a message, DM, PM, whatever you want to call it. You can do that on Instagram as well as Facebook. I think we have a Twitter one too, but Facebook is probably the best one. You can find me personally on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at @thereal_JP3. The 3 are the lowercase i's. If you want to message me directly, most of the time you can find me on the social, the podcast pages. I can respond there as well. So that's where you can find me though.
Sweet. You can hit me up at DMN Sith Lord on anything searchable and findable. What up? Hit me up. DM, Steelbook, Mando, #. Let's get it going.
I've seen a lot of posts lately about people in the market for lightsabers. Hey, guess what? We got a great deal. Head on over to our friend at ultrasabers.com. Pick out the lightsaber you want as long as it's not a clearance lightsaber, and this does not work on accessories. Put it in your cart. When you get to the coupon code under Force Fields, all one word, all caps, you'll receive 10% off on Balance of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. And you can also visit us on TeePublic. Check out all our cool designs like the one behind me and others that we have up there, and more designs coming in the future. If you want to see something different or new with our logo on it, just shoot us up. Just hit us up on our social media platforms, and we'll see what we can do for you. You can search us on TeePublic at Balance of the Force Pod or Podcast. We are Balance of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. And as always, may the Force be with you.